I never thought I'd be watching my own sister take over a house I bought for our parents, as if I'd built it for her. She called it hers. Smiled while chaos unfolded around her. My name is Harper. I'm 37, a neurosurgeon. Money, absence, responsibility, those are the reasons my family treats me like an ATM. But this was personal. It was a Saturday morning in early July. I'd driven 3 hours to the coast with a cake, a strawberry and cream masterpiece, my dad's childhood favorite, and champagne that could make even a Wednesday feel like a celebration. I imagined their faces, their surprise, the smell of coffee mixing with the salty ocean air. I was happy in that naive, careless way that comes when you think everything is under control. Then I pulled into the driveway. A giant black SUV blocked the entrance. The front door was open, banging in the wind. My chest tightened. Shouts echoed from inside. A man's deep, grating voice, my mother's high-pitched wails, kids screaming somewhere beneath the chaos. Even the TV was blaring cartoons that I work in operating rooms where calm is a commandment. But nothing prepared me for this. My hands shook so violently I almost dropped the cake. My mother stood in the kitchen, a dish towel clutched like a weapon, red-rimmed eyes swollen from crying. My father sat at the table, his wedding ring tapping the wood as his hands trembled. And there she was, my sister, Lila, lounging on the couch as if she owned the place. Yoga pants, messy bun, bare feet on the coffee table, scrolling her phone while her husband, Mark, leaned nearby with a beer in hand. "This is my house now," Mark said, pointing at my father. The room froze. Even the kids stopped screaming mid-spin. I set the cake down, the box thumping softly against the coffee table. "Excuse me, what is happening here?" I asked, my voice quiet but sharp. "Oh, Harper," Lila cooed, playing the victim. We didn't know you were coming." I cut her off. She faltered, blaming social media posts, claiming she was just visiting and helping. But the truth hit me in that moment. This was deliberate. Coordinated. "A takeover, get out," I said. Mark laughed. "That's not happening. You have 30 seconds to start packing, or I call the cops." "Call them." I said. That I called Victor, the locksmith who'd been on standby since my father called me crying the night before. 10 minutes. That's all they had. 10 minutes to leave the house that was legally, and emotionally, ours. But why did this happen? I was always the responsible one. At 10, I was translating bills for my parents. I did homework while Lila played outside. Not because I wanted to, but because someone had to figure out how we survived. Money was always tight. My dad worked construction, my mom cleaned houses. One unexpected bill, and we'd live on beans and rice. Lila was the golden child, the fun one, the creative one. I was the one who got the scholarship, went to medical school, and eventually earned more in a month than my parents ever did in a year. And that's when the requests began. Small at first: rent, car repairs, deposits. Then, more complicated: a new baby, a new spouse, an endless series of emergencies. And I said yes every single time. Because that's family, right, wrong. About a year ago, I drew the line. No more enabling. No more being the endless ATM for someone who saw me as nothing more than a resource. And that's when I found the perfect way to give my parents the life they deserved: a house by the ocean. Fully paid. Turnkey. A place just for them that I spent 4 months in secret. I handled every detail. Taxes, utilities, maintenance, done. Furnished it myself. I left a note in the kitchen: "Happy anniversary. Love, Harper." And for 3 glorious days, it was perfect. Dad walked the beach at sunrise, collecting shells like a child. Mom cooked with a smile I hadn't seen in decades. There was no stress, no bills, no Julia. Then, she found out, Lila didn't just show up unannounced. She plotted. She and Mark scouted, researched, and plotted a takeover. When I arrived that morning, they were already moving in. They had claimed the master bedroom, the ocean view, even started listing the house online as a rental. 12 bookings, $36,000 in advance, all in Mark's name. Lila even wrote notes strategizing how to manipulate our parents emotionally that I showed them the evidence. The listing, the plan, the emails. Fraud. Trespassing. Violation of HOA rules. Every option legally available to me. Victor arrived, locks ready. I told them, leave in 15 minutes, or face consequences. And slowly, reluctantly, they packed up. Lila's tears, Mark's threats, the kids' confused questions, they all faded into the background as I watched the SUV disappear down the driveway. The locks changed, the codes reset, the house finally ours again. My parents sat on the porch, silent, staring at the ocean. The sunset painted the sky pink and gold, but peace didn't come. I knew this wasn't over, because Lila never gives up. My phone started buzzing. Texts from family, from her, from friends. Attempts to guilt me, to manipulate me, to convince me I'd done something wrong. I didn't respond. Not once. I had learned that engagement would only feed the fire. I leaned back, watching the waves. This house was meant to be a sanctuary. And now, for the first time in years, it truly was. But I knew the battle lines were drawn. And if my family wanted war, they would find that I am finally done being the family ATM. Sometimes love means saying no. Sometimes family means standing up. And sometimes, protecting what you build, for the people you care about, requires a strength they'll never understand until it's too late. And now, as I sit here, listening to the ocean, I realize, boundaries are not betrayal. They are survival.